Hey guys, T-Ball here. Today I got an Amagi replay for a Tier 7 Japanese battleship. This was on my stream, so there's going to be a couple times where I make these circular motions on the screen. I was just pointing out to people certain thoughts that I had on the map. Now, if you have seen this, I'm going to try and add some more commentary for the replay. It's a lot easier for me to describe certain things when I'm not actually playing the game. But I did want to give a shout out to Much Love Guys on my Discord. He's kind of turning into my nemesis. He's killed me a couple times in the game that we know about. Probably more than that even. He got a 240k damage game today, so that's really awesome. If you do want to join my Discord, the link will be below. There's a lot of good players down there, a lot of good exchange of information and stuff like that. Anyway, I've been reading online. A lot of players are frustrated with the map Haven because what typically happens is everyone goes around in a big circle in a clockwise manner. And so what I was explaining on the stream, how I like to play this, there's a strong side. On the north, the strong side is all the way north, and if you're in the south spawn, the strong side is all the way on the south, the side that I'm on here. And if I spawn on the weak side, a lot of times what players will do is they'll just abandon the weak side and start sailing north. And that's how you get these circular clockwise motion games. Now the way I play this side is, I'm not planning on staying here, but I want to slow them down, cause damage, harass them, and then kite away. And then if you're able to slow them down and your team's able to do their typical clockwise push and wipe through the strong side on your side of the map, then that actually disrupts the enemy's game plan, and that's potentially a good strategy that'll help you win the game. So you can see I'm already turned away from the side here. Usually ships will be coming around this corner here. In this instance, they aren't, but if you're already kind of turning away, you see I'm angled for any incoming fire from the side. And so you want to kind of start off with the assumption that you're going to leave. You don't want to park here and just plan on duking it out, because you will die. You might, if you're lucky, kill a ship, but usually when you're getting focused down by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 ships versus 1 or 2, you're not going to have a very good chance of surviving and even doing that much damage in that situation. So I like to come over here, spot, like if I'm playing a destroyer, I'll come over here mainly to spot targets for any teammates that happen to be playing over here, or get some torpedoes in the water. Cruisers, battleships, I'm coming over here with the intention of kiting away like I'm doing now. So that would be my recommendation. If the way the game's configured, there's this couple maps where there's a strong side and a weak side for the spawns. The spawns are always the same, so the games are fairly predictable in that regard. I know Wargaming get a lot of feedback on that. I don't have as big of a problem with this particular map as a lot of players do, but you know, if they randomize the spawns a little bit, that would probably help create some less predictable gameplay. But as the game stands right now, this is my recommendation. Now, taking a look at the Amagi itself, the Amagi has currently the most powerful guns in the game. So if you, hopefully you're finding yourself in situations where you have multiple targets to choose from, and in my opinion, your best bet is to shoot at the highest available HP. You know, given the fact that you're able to do such massive damage with these salvos, you know, if you're hitting full HP targets, you're gonna hit them for more. Like right here, I have a really low HP Atlanta. Now, granted, I couldn't hit that shot because he's already through that gap. But let's say I had that really low HP Atlanta and then like a full battleship, like this Colorado, for instance. If they were both available at the same time, I'd want to shoot the Colorado. If you're trying to get the Kraken or something, sure, go for the kills. But in general, just trying to win the game, my recommendation is to shoot the highest HP pool available. And if you're able to land high damage shots, then that's going to help your team. Because, again, if you've heard me in the past, I like to conceptualize each team has like a set HP pool. And, you know, the most HP resides in the battleship. So if you have like a Megami like this, which you can one shot if you hit them in the Citadel, obviously you're going to want to take that shot, but given the power of these guns, You know, if you can take out a gun on the enemy team, like a cruiser, yeah, I'd go for that. But if it's like a 1000 HP cruiser and you have a teammate who could potentially shoot at them, just try and ping the map, say, you know, shoot this target. Hopefully they're paying attention. Odds aren't great if that's actually the case, but once in a while you get teammates that are paying attention. Now this Magami's turned around, he's coming back for more. He looks to me like he's slowing down. He's trying to stop right behind that thing and then use that as cover. Now these little low islands, they provide good visual cover in terms of blocking line of sight. Someone else is spotting them, obviously, but in terms of blocking incoming fire, most ships' gun angles or firing arcs are going to be able to drop over those, so don't rely on these little islands for cover. Like I see some Atlantas parking behind these islands sometime, thinking that's gonna, if it blocks the line of sight and allows you to remain undetected, great, but don't rely on it for like physical cover, because it's not going to prevent shots from coming in and hitting you. Now how this game is playing out from my perspective is typically how I want to play it. I want to swing south and then turn around and then put out a lot of harassing fire on the way back, but it's atypical in terms of what's happening on the right-hand side of the match. They actually sent more ships to the eastern part of the map than you normally see, because that's their weak side, playing the east. So they're actually having a lot of success over there, and they're kind of slowing our push. But domination, there's a cap to like where I'm looking right now. Again, on the strong side where we spawn 6 ships. Typically the blue team will take that, the red team will take the one that was closer to where I am. But if you're slowing down the advance, that's going to stop them from getting the capture point that's represented by my home base, in this instance on capture the base mode. But domination, that's one of the 4 captures. And then by doing so, you'll allow your team, who again normally pushes through that eastern side fairly readily, they can go down and then capture the point which is represented by their home base in this mode. But again, that would be one of the 4 capture points in domination mode. So just getting into these positions and disrupting the enemy's typical game flow, I think, is the key to playing Haven. Again, you can't play the weak side with the intention of just parking there and stopping, you know, in like a Spartan manner, just stopping a horde of, or an onslaught of the horde, you know. But kiting away like this, putting on suppressive fire, that's how I'd recommend going about it. Now you can see we got pretty good damage so far, over 100k. Now this match I hadn't yet unlocked the 150k mission for the current campaign. I don't currently have the Admiralty backing. I'm not sold on it this time. Basically the main reward is a German crate and 3 legendary points that you can use on any commander. Now you need 4 points to actually get a commander to level 1 legendary status. So you'll get 1 for free, and then you'll get 3 additional if you buy the Admiralty backing, which would allow you to promote 1 commander to legendary status number 1. Is that worth $10 in my opinion? I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but currently I haven't unlocked it. Now this Colorado is angling in really steep to me, but again, we have really strong guns that can kind of power through even an angled battleship like that. So Colorado, good armor on the sides, nose and bow, or bow and stern. Not as much, so you can potentially get some decent shots there. But again, the caliber of these guns are just so powerful that superstructure shots, upper hull shots, stuff like that, you're going to get some decent damage. So don't be afraid to take some shots in this. Now again, that I believe it's the Magami to the south. I'm trying to get my team to shoot him. I don't want to waste a full salvo on him to kill a 1000 HP cruiser. Now you'll notice in that last sequence I took the first significant damage of the game. Up until now we bounced most of it. The gun layout on the Amagi is really nice, so you can remain really steeply angled and get all the guns firing in normal cases. What you want to do though is when you're planning on turning like I was, you want to wait for them to shoot at your angled battleship and then turn. For whatever reason, I either wasn't paying attention or it was an oversight on my part, but that was a mistake. They're making that turn when his guns were loaded. So, again, wait for the incoming salvo against your angled ship and then make the turn. Because you don't want to sail directly at them. I mean, even though I win that fight, it's just better to maintain your distance. And I'm also trying to position myself against this Amagi. And I believe it's a King George on their side. So they're up. Or no, it's tied now. They have a destroyer and then the 2 battleships. We have a cruiser and 2 battleships on our side. And able to land a decent shot there. Now we're at 149 here, and then I kind of was thinking out loud. The only thing that could go wrong is if that destroyer cropped up right by me, and of course that's exactly what happened. Now I'm hoping this New Orleans near me is going to shoot at him. I got a little frustrated during the stream because that was a really bad shot. I was just trying to nick him for the 150k basically at this point just to get it over with. But that was a rush shot and way behind him, so bad shot there. And what I'm trying to do now is just re-angle towards all 3 of these ships that are clumped together, so it's fairly easy to angle against ships that are grouped together like that. Now, I talk about this a lot, but it bears repeating because, you know, right now I'm kind of forced to shoot at this ship, and again, I'm putting out bad shots. I'm not 2 salvos. I could have hit that guy if I would have aimed properly, but my job right now is a fairly full health battleship with really strong guns should be to counter these battleships. I need the cruiser on my team to be killing this destroyer for me. If that cruiser, which I don't even know, I think his guns have gone silent to go undetected, which isn't necessarily the wrong play. I think he's fairly low health, but if he sacrificed himself killing that destroyer, that would help our team out quite a bit. And it would allow me, again, as the main damage dealer left on our team. I believe my other battleship is a King George, which can do a lot of damage, but compared to an Amagi, it's not on the same weight class. So again, try and allow the big guns on your team to shoot the targets that they need to be shooting instead of having to defend itself and the teammates from destroyers, which is just wasting a lot of potential damage on targets that should be dealt with by other ship classes more efficiently. Now there are Amagi. I think he was getting a little sick of me being so well angled against him. He went full broadside to get all his guns on target. Again, if I was shooting better, I could have potentially killed him there. Someone in chat let me know. I believe the Amagi has turtleback armor, which at closer ranges is going to make it hard to hit waterline citadels, but you know, even shooting upper hull into superstructure, that would have been a high damage salvo had I aimed it better than I did there. So the shooting kind of deteriorated late in the match, unfortunately. But again, I'm maintaining angle pretty well. This is a little more open than I need to. What's happening now, I'm realizing I'm running out of real estate over here, which is going to be a problem. So I'm going to have to start turning my guns to the other side. Now when you're kiting away, especially in a battleship with slow turret traverse relative to other ships, you're going to want to keep the guns firing off the same side as much as possible. But usually when you're kiting, you're going to run into either land masses or the edge of the map, which is going to force you to change your position. Now again, I maybe should have shot that destroyer. I'm still counting on the Norlands to do that. But the score is obviously very close here. Now if we kill that destroyer, we're going to be up. So we're up right now. But unfortunately, the Norlands is extremely low in health. And recognizing that, I basically have to one-shot this King George, which is going to be very difficult to do given his HP. And unfortunately, we're not able to do that. So they are able to pull it out on the score. But pretty close game, pretty nice score in terms of damage, at least for me. So I think we got the second highest score in the game despite being on the losing team. And that's pretty much it for that one. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I got a lot of World of Warships coming all the time for you. questions, comments for me, leave below. Love to hear from you guys. And we'll see you later. All right, peace.